Hello and welcome into our On Campus with Game On Boys and Girls Lacrosse show. I'm your host, Jeff Beideman, and thanks to the Central Bucks East and Lansdale Catholic boys teams, we're excited to be here for another week bringing you a lacrosse show. Now, as you can see, my regular sidekick, Renee Washington, is not here with me, but have no fear, she is out covering the state semifinals. All right, so Renee, how did our two surprise contestants make out in states?
Well, Jeff, our final two teams are done as they were both knocked out of the state tournament in the semifinal round. Starting with Lansdale Catholic, a team I refer to as the Cinderella team. And that's because, again, we talked about them before, just trying to make the district tournament. They made the district tournament, won it, and then had an impressive run in the state tournament. They won their final 6 out of 7 games to reach their first ever state tournament, and they made quite some noise while they were there. Unfortunately, they just ran up against the powerhouse in Springfield Delco, a team we've talked about before as they matched up against Happer Horsham earlier in the season. The Cougars have an All-American goalkeeper, 2 All-American defenders, and a number of players in their offense that are just goal-scoring threats. And for Lansdale Catholic, they just ran up against a better team. For the Crusaders, they had a heck of a season. And it's not something that started in the off-season. This started back when their 12 seniors were freshmen that they started working to get to this point. So hats off to Lansdale Catholic for a tremendous season, the Cinderella run to make it so far in the state tournament. And I can't overlook our other semifinalists, Central Bucks East, as they had a tough opponent in Avon Grove. Tough for a different reason besides just talent, Jeff. Tough because this was the 3rd time that the Patriots faced Avon Grove this season. The Patriots lost to Avon Grove in the regular season, and this is the team that we talked about that knocked them out of the district semifinal game by scoring in the final minute to win by 1. So for Central Bucks East, this was a tall task, a tough task, to play them for the 3rd time this season, and again, a semifinal matchup. And unfortunately, it was the same result as the Red Devils ended their season. This game actually reminded me of Game 3 of the Cavs Warriors on Wednesday night. This was the 3rd time they were playing. Central Bucks East had already lost to them twice, and this looked like the chance they were going to finally beat Avon Grove. And unfortunately, it was not their day. East was in it the entire game, but Avon Grove was just able to capitalize on some quick goals in transition. And unfortunately, the Patriots would go down, get a good shot, or get a turnover, and the Red Devils came right down the field while the midfielders and defenders were unbalanced and were able to score. And that happened a few times. So that's a momentum killer for Central Bucks East. But behind players like Michael Lott, Ryan Bulata, and Ryan Brown, who scored to tie his school record of 65 goals in a single season, their offense still had a number of chances. And even late in the game, they were still in it. They were still knocking on the door. They just unfortunately were not able to convert. Now, in speaking to the players, they knew just how special this season really was. They went undefeated in Suburban 1 League play, they reached the district semifinals, and then they reached the state semifinals by knocking off the number 1 team in the state and the top 10 team in the country in LaSalle. But for Central Bucks East and Lansdale Catholic boys lacrosse teams, they had a tremendous season. Both teams went far in the district tournament, they reached the state semifinals, and they had some historic wins and milestones that they reached. Now, I am happy that I was able to get to their final game of the season to watch them close out their season, see those special seniors play for one last time with their high school teams, and for those underclassmen that have stepped up all season long and will hopefully continue to do that again next year. Overall, it was just a great year and a lot of fun lacrosse to watch. Jeff, back to you.
Thanks, Renee. That'll do it for our show this week. We'd like to thank Quakertown High School for opening up Alumni Field so we can shoot the show here this week. And if you are a social media fan, make sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at HS Game On. Make sure to check out all of our around campus shows throughout the week. Thanks again for watching, and hopefully we will see you next week.